have had the same exact face-off win percentage this year, both tied for second best in the Ivy League. But, Pat, we look out on the field right now, and the guy who's out there for Yale is Nick Wehmeyer, the first-year face-off guy. So you wonder, after he had a really good game in Yale's win against Penn last week, if he's going to get some more run today. It looks like he'll take the first face-off of the game for the Bulldogs. Wehmeyer at 48.3% on face-offs to start his career out of Sellersville, Pennsylvania. And he took 13 face-offs against Penn last week. That was the most he's taken in a game this year. So it's him and Reagan on the opener to start the game. And how about that? Good start for Wehmeyer. Yale will have the first possession.
Wehmeyer has done a great job in relief of Paquette of Rodriguez.
In his 53rd career game. And Yale's off to a good start here today. And that's kind of been imperative in the Yale wins this year, hasn't it, Pat? Getting off to good starts as Wehmeyer wins another face-off. They actually led wire to wire last week in the Penn game, and the final score of 14-11 really doesn't indicate how comfortably Yale won that game.
Definitely a couple Yale sideline, and Dartmouth is stunned. Their guys are just quiet on the sideline.
Well, Spencer Reagan finally wins a face-off, and Dartmouth will get its first possession of the game. And that gets us into a story as Reagan got knocked down by Wehmeyer, and he causes the turnover. Yale gets the ball quickly as Jared Paquette will start the clear second against Brown when he had a 7-point affair 2 weekends ago. So 2-0 start for Yale, minute and 50 seconds into this game. Wehmeyer's won the first two face-offs, but a push against Dartmouth is going to give Yale a third consecutive possession to start this game. And you hate to say it, if you're a Dartmouth as an assistant at Virginia, one of those national championship game wins was against Yale, as Machado Rodriguez was in for a face-off for the first time there for the Bulldogs, and Dartmouth's able to get the ball. The way he's transformed this program in a couple of years is really unbelievable, frankly, especially in a league as difficult as this. And Thomas Power have been really impactful. And that's the thing, right? When you turn around a program, Dartmouth has all these first-year guys who have had big years, and the two transfers, as this is going to be a call against Yale and Dartmouth ball. So many of the players who are doing big things for them are new to the roster, even if they're not all first years. Julian Navab gets this across. Colin McGill, 191 wins deep into his Yale career. Another big battle for the face-off. Wings starting to get involved in these, and that's allowed Dartmouth to have some more success. Power will pull it behind the goal line, and Dartmouth will get set up just over 5 minutes into the game. Second assist for Power, second goal for McGill. And Dartmouth has seized all the momentum in this game. Yale was up 4-0, and the Big Green have a chance to somehow tie it already. And we're not face-off here. Rodriguez is in there, and Dartmouth comes away with it. So after Yale won the first couple face-offs, Pat, I think it's 6 in a row now for Dartmouth.
Dartmouth was doing a great job. Yale was winning the clamp, and what they were doing was just tying it up to create that as a 3-on-3 battle as opposed to that 1-on-1. And
the game of runs kind of continues. 2 in a row now for Yale. 2:30 left in the first. Reagan's got another one cleanly. Reagan on the move forward for Power. McGill, good pass in front, and they score. How quick was that as Jackson Monty scores his 8th of the year. 10 seconds between the goals.
Coach Kerwin, a Tufts alum, and really playing that offense, that quick early offense to create unsettled situations. And look at that beautiful passing to create the open look for Monty right on the crease.
Jackson Monty, a first year from Fairport, New York, played at the Salisbury School here in Connecticut. Scores his second goal against an Ivy League opponent, 8th of the season. Johnson and Wehmeyer ran into each other, and that jarred the ball free for Dartmouth, and McGill's got another. A first quarter hat trick and a 4-point quarter for Colin McGill. Dartmouth's got 2 in a row in 10 seconds, and it's 6-5.
Playing fast. This is what Dartmouth I didn't think that that's how they would want to play this game, but they are doing it, and they are just creating looks, unsettled situations, a great ball movement. Wow.
Dartmouth looking like Paul Westfall's Loyola Marymount Lions from the early 90s. And finally, Yale's got a face-off. They had lost 8 in a row after winning the first 3. This feels like a hold-on-to-your-hats game, doesn't it?
It does. Looking at how they're going from game to game, they played a close game with Princeton, kind of a low-scoring affair, that rough game last week, but now, right now, they're in a shootout with Yale, and this is
third 4-goal effort of the season, and from 4-0 down, Dartmouth's got it tied, and now they can take the lead. The quick offense has certainly caused some issues for Yale defensive.
That last save by Morrell, kick save with the leg, just outstanding play, and this is what you want to see. And it's going to be a game where Yale's got to figure out a way to score. It's been about 13 minutes, 12, 13 minutes since they've scored a goal, and Morrell's got their number right now.
It's a 7-2 Dartmouth run since.
And now we're back to these faceoffs that Dartmouth has owned.
9-6, but remember it was 3-0, so 9 out of 12 have gone the Dartmouth way. Wehmeyer's got it. 4 minutes to go, first half, to take the lead back. It's been really impressive the way both teams have had an answer very quickly to the gut punches they've gotten in this game. Wehmeyer broke some ankles there. Andy Shea does not want a timeout. The official heard something that he thought was timeout, but was not, so we play on. And remember, Pat, he missed all of last year with injury, so that's 3 seasons where he's going to end up with 150 points. Hold here against Dartmouth. 10.5 seconds for Yale. Johnson gives it up to Lyons. Do they have time for one more shot? Lyons, high feed, gets away from Sharp.
For the Ivy League tournament game, and the pressure here squarely on Yale. Nobody's really expecting Dartmouth to be able to do that.
Yale gets the first face-off win of the third quarter. Christian Johnson picked it up. You do almost wonder, though, when you talk about last week, Jared Paquette, the co-defensive player of the week, and Anderson's having another big game today. Reagan wins this face-off, so Dartmouth gets the ball, looking to go quickly, and now Stahl backs it out. Yale's done a much better job. Dartmouth, Penn, and Brown, if any of them or all of them somehow finish 3-3 and Yale finished 3-3, the Bulldogs would own the tiebreaker by virtue of beating all of them. So that's why Yale would clinch the last spot in the tournament with a win today, and they're up 2 here past the midway point of the quarter. Dartmouth with the ball after getting the whistle on that.
Running 2 poles on the wings on these face-offs, trying to make it a 3-person game.
Violation, though, against him this time, so Yale will get the ball. Tell us about that a little more, though. How does that make it a 2-person game like you're saying?
Well, if you can tie it up, if you can tie the face-up up and then get 2 defensive players in there, it just gives you more opportunity to create that turnover and get the ball into your defenseman or long stick midi stick.
That's something that Harvard has used a lot this year and been successful in winning games, even with low face-off win percentage numbers. Leo Johnson, what a shot. 9 with 5:30 left in the third. Wehmeyer, another one. What a performance by Wehmeyer in this game. I mean, it's not overwhelming. Face-offs are 12-11 Yale, but in his first career essentially start, right? Face-off guys don't count as starters, but still, he's been outstanding against a guy who's had a great year in Reagan. Come in 1 minute and 1 second. 12-9 Yale. Momentum with the Bulldogs here as Wehmeyer wins another. So if you obviously win the face-off that clean as the face-off guy, those poles can't get involved. And that's what today. First 4-goal lead since it was 4-0. Reagan wins this face-off, tried to get rid of it quickly, And got it to Jack Mulholland, the long pole. Quick pass, good cut in front, and the shot wide from Thomas Power.
Close, and just a little bit, doesn't get a ton on it, but just redirects that ball so it doesn't give Paquette time to get over to there. Another giant face-off win from Wehmeyer.
That have stepped up in this biggest game of the year. Johnson, Lyons, Paquette making big plays in the biggest moments.
Yeah, these are guys who've been here for a long time. They've been in big games, and this is a big game for them.
First face-off of the fourth quarter, and Wehmeyer has it. Wehmeyer all the way, he scores! First career goal for Nick Wehmeyer.
Yale has, for quite some time, had a long history of great face-off midfielders, and Nick Wehmeyer showing I am just another one of them.
That is the first goal from a face-off guy this year for Yale. And now the officials are getting together to talk, but man, oh man, is that a big way to start the quarter.
Wow, and it appears that that they are doing a stick check on Nick Wehmeyer, and this is going to have, if it has an impact, the social media world on fire, that you call a stick check on a face-off midfielder after 3 periods of play on a goal.
He's good.
And that just fires up the Yale sideline even more. You see Coach Che having to move guys back, so they're jawing at the Dartmouth group.
Well, 6-goal lead, and Mahalik's got it. So not only, Pat, has Wehmeyer scored that goal, which was awesome. Loose ball here, and Johnson picks it up. That's an awesome moment for you. The 16 goals are a new season high for Yale. Previous high was 15 against Brown 2 weekends ago. Push called against Wehmeyer, so it's Dartmouth ball. But all of a sudden, this thing has started to get away from the big green a little bit.
You saw, kind of puffing his cheeks out. It's been a day for him. And even things that you thought, you have Yale.
His previous highest scoring day of the year was that Denver game when he's had 5 points. And with 4 goals today, Johnson is now 7 away from 100 in his career. Got a call here against Yale, so it's Dartmouth ball. Last week, Harvard put 18 on Dartmouth. That was the most goals they had given up in a game this season.
But back to talking about Dartmouth. Here's the thing. There was a while where, you had to be, as a Yale.
Annuziata's taking face-offs now for Yale, but yeah, again, it was 10-9. This is an 11-1 Yale run. And certainly